All right, my peeps, I need to let you know you're getting fooled, quasi-scammed here about this whole voice cloning idea. So don't you worry, though. I got your back. I'm going to show you what's going on here. We need to set real expectations of what we can and can't do, and understand that there's people that they just kind of want you to hit clicks on stuff. So I'm going to show you really quickly the technology that we actually have to work with. And it's pretty impressive, but I don't think it's going to be exactly what some of you are thinking. So let's get into that. But first, please go ahead and like this video and follow the channel, because it really does help the community. We're trying to get this out and help everyone get into this. So you can help by doing that. So moving forward here, we go online. What do we see? We want to get in here and let's click on over here, and we do a search for voice cloning, and look at what it's promising us. How to clone any voice in under 5 minutes. AI voice cloning software. Voice clone. How to clone your own voice. Free text-to-speech with your voice. So, and on, clone singer voice. You see all this stuff, and we're tempted to just think, well, my God, I guess I could just get a software. I could just put a few seconds in there, and we're just going to be doing it. I mean, it must be true, because look at all of these things here that are saying just clone your voice in seconds. Okay, here's the deal. They're lying to you, okay? They are not being directly honest with you. Let me just come out straight up and tell you, you cannot perfectly clone your voice in seconds, okay? It is a process that takes, you have to have, I mean, you're talking like a good hour, 10 hours, 20 hours worth of very immaculate text to get a good clone. Okay, so first of all, the second thing is ridiculous. I mean, you're talking hours and hours and hours. Okay, and like I said, it has to be high quality stuff. Like, I mean, you're talking like no sound in the back, and it is a very long process that takes more than just the software we're getting down. So you ask yourself, what can I do with the software? Okay, here's where it's at. Really what we're talking about is voice synthesis, or a better way to understand it is voice mimicking. Okay, like a bird, right? You got those birds. They can hear what you're saying, and they can repeat it back. But it's a bird. Hey, you're like, hey, that's uncanny. It kind of sounds like me, but I can obviously tell it's a bird. That's what we're talking about, okay? So it's voice mimicking. And it is very cool. Listen, some of the software is fantastic. Like, you can get some really good stuff, but let me show you what we're talking about here. This is the kind of quality stuff. Now, I've put together this little app here. Oh, let me go ahead and pop back over here. So I put together this little app I wrote with code that hits what's called a TTS server. So TTS stands for text to speech, which is the main thing that we're talking about. It runs off of, let's see if I can show you what this looks like here. Runs off a server over here. That runs. What we do is we send this code over here to the server, and it translates and sends it back. Now, what I did, I went ahead, and since we saw that one talked about Joe Rogan over here, I went ahead and found a Joe Rogan video. Okay.
Are more healthy on an animal and vegetable diet. And
okay, so what I did is I went ahead and copied this thing in this little app that I created. I just pasted it in here. This took like 2 seconds. I put some words in here. Yo, what's up, my dudes? Gotta admit, I'm pretty happy to be here, loving the summertime. But to be honest, I need to get outside a bit more before winter comes. So it just took a few seconds. Let's see what it does.
Yo, what's up, my dudes? Gotta admit that I'm pretty happy to be here, loving the summertime. But to be honest, I need to get outside a bit more before winter comes.
Okay, hey, that's pretty cool, right? I mean, you can tell that's Joe Rogan, but you can tell it's kind of like a bird. It's not Joe Rogan, but you can tell it's a mimic of it. It's a synthesis of it. It's pretty close. That's what we're talking about, okay? You need to set your expectations correctly. You're not going to go in here and throw stuff in there in just seconds and get like this perfect, I can't tell. Is that Joe Biden speaking? Was that Donald Trump? I mean, I'll make these incredible videos. That's what you're being sold, okay? So when you go do voice cloning, you can do all this stuff. That's what you're being sold, but that's not the reality, okay? Guaranteed, you watch 99% of these tutorials on here, you're gonna think, oh, it's gonna show me how to do it. It's not. It's gonna basically show you an app like this. It's gonna show you an app like VoiceCraft or something like that, and you're gonna be literally doing this. Let's see how fast this can do it while I'm doing video. Let's just say, let's go in here and type, hey there, here's another attempt at voice synthesis. See, synthesis is a good word because it denotes synthetic, right? You can tell if something's synthetic typically because it's different than the real thing. So here, actually, that got done, got pretty fast. Let's see how it sounds.
Hey there, here's another attempt at voice synthesis.
Okay, you'll notice that one didn't sound as great, did it? So this is really what we're talking about. Now, this is still really cool, okay? Don't get me wrong, but it's not voice cloning, okay? Stop wasting your time watching all this stuff that you're just sitting there drilling through it, giving you empty promises. There are technologies that you can do that you can try to, but again, they're very complicated. It's very in-depth, and I'll tell you what, I've spent days on the process, and I can't get anything as good as this, okay? So again, you're talking about people in studios that have the ability to get noise canceling stuff or have access to videos that are noise canceled, 10 hours, let's say, okay? And they're able to clean it up, put it in there, and run it through a series of complicated softwares that you cannot find the tutorials. I found like basically one tutorial on how to do it. I'll share it with you another time, but it doesn't work very well and it's very buggy. So guaranteed, the stuff you're going to find, you cannot just get something out of the box, but you can do something like this, which is very cool. Let's go back and do the one here again. Let's generate. Now, actually, I'm going to show you this little app I made. This is probably the fastest app I've made. Even VoiceCraft is slower than this. VoiceCraft has more stuff you can do. You can change things, but this is fast. Let's look at here. I got a list of different voices. If I erase the video URL, let's grab this one, this Chandra McFarlane, and let's generate something out of that, and let's see how that sounds.
Yo, what's up, my dudes? Gotta admit that I'm pretty happy to be here, loving the summertime. But to be honest, I need to get outside a bit more before winter comes.
That's pretty good. See, we can grab some other ones. Let's try this Tammy. Okay, and look how fast that goes.
Yo, what's up, my dudes? Gotta admit that I'm pretty happy to be here, loving the summertime. But to be honest, I need to get outside a bit more before winter comes. Yo!
Whoops, that's pretty good. We can also click here on this drop file here, and we can actually go find a sound video. Let me see if I can find one. I don't think you can see that on my screen, but let's go grab this. And now it's going to be in here. This one's going to actually overwrite.
What's up, my dudes?
Whoops, we got to generate. Oh, we ran out of GRAM here. Okay. Anyway, the bottom line is you get the idea that this is what we're talking about. Very cool. Not cloning. Okay. Don't waste your time. If you want to get this, app, you can actually head on over to my Patreon site. It's patreon.com/cognibuild. Whoops. It would help if I spelt it correctly. All right, and under here you can see there is under collections, a member exclusive software. You can find all sorts of stuff over here. You got VoiceCraft. VoiceCraft is actually really cool, and we just did an update on the installer, which is getting this ripping up. I have this version here, which actually will set everything up for you to make certain that it's running the fastest. Okay, all sorts of good stuff in here that you can get. I think like $5 to join up, and I have that app as well that we were just using. But that's reality what we're looking at, and it's a good reality. Okay, if there's any message I want you to send, it's a good reality, but reality has to be based on reality. Okay, so we're not cloning any voices. It's just not possible on our level just yet. Okay, but we are doing a very impressive synthesis. Very impressive mimicking of voices. If you have any other questions, hit me up on my Discord channel. Be happy to chat with you about this stuff. Get some software running for you and use this as part of your workflow. This is quality stuff, especially that app that I was just showing you. That is so fast and really doesn't take that long to load up. And you can put that into all sorts of other projects, okay? Which is really what this is about, is using one app to create something, moving it to another app to refine it or add it into something else, and so on and so on and so on until we get a final product. So keep building. Share with me what you're working on. I'd love to see it, okay? And in the meanwhile, you stay good, and we will catch you on the other side. Yo.